All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Tuesday, the 8th of May. And man, I am just salivating thinking about all the great Tuscan wines we're going to be tasting this week. We've got an event at Cafe Max on Wednesday night, which probably just about sold out. You know, they had 50 people at the Bordeaux tasting just a few weeks ago. And then we got California Cabernet coming up next, which another big tasting. Usually we sell both of those out. So you want to make your reservations early for these tasting at Cafe Max. And then Friday night, our first 2007 Brunello di Montalcino tasting. This is an annual tasting that we do when the first wines from Montalcino start to arrive. This is a wine that is held back 5 years before release. So February is when the wines are released, and the 2007s usually start to trickle in around late March, early April, and Valdicava, one of the first wines to come in. So we will be tasting this 2007 on this offering on Friday nights. Unfortunately, the tasting is sold out, so we don't have any space for that, but hey, you never know. Somebody might cancel. You can make a call if you want to come by Friday night, put on the waiting list. Somebody may cancel. You never know. But Valdicava has been a perennial overachiever for the last, well, since the late 1980s when Vincenzo Abrusezzi took over. He has been doing some serious work in the vineyard, which is where all great wines are made. And one of the great stories, you know, when we visited Valdicava, we saw his horse and goats that were hanging out together, and he said, man, that's kind of odd. I guess horses and goats are friends. And he says, yes, it's just a particular thing that happened here on this farm, and it makes him feel comfortable because when his father had the farm, he had a horse and a goat also. Unfortunately, I've heard that the mountain lions came down and ate the goat, so it's just a horse now. I don't know. Vincenzo will have to tell us if that's what happened. Just a story that I heard, but we've done many events with Vincenzo in my home, and the first tasting ever here at the store, so we know these wines intimately. We buy them every year, even if we don't get to taste them, but, you know, we open them up every year anyways, because to me, Valdicava, one of the greatest expressions of terroir in Montalcino, and you have 4 different clones of Sangiovese. You get different rootstocks. He has been working for the last 30 years tirelessly to perfect his vineyard and, you know, all great wines made in the vineyard. You see a lot of propaganda today about, you know, that, and I would have to say Vincenzo, one of the first people to start touting that from Montalcino. When I started visiting there, and I'm very happy to say we have a huge collection of Valdicava in the store. I always start to get a little bit, when somebody buys one of our 3-liter bottles, I start to, my God, I don't have any more 3 liters of 04 vintage Valdicava. What am I going to do? But we have 3 liters. We have magnums. We have, no, half bottles, no. Well, yes, we do. We have half bottles also. You know when I like something, we have it in all different sizes. And the Madonna del Piano, which is Vincenzo's RISERVA Brunello, it's just a single vineyard site on the property, the oldest vines, and planted in 1970 or the early 1970s. And then the youngest vines on the property planted in 2001. So, you know, those go into the Rosso di Montalcino, which he only makes 2,500 cases. Very different in style from the Brunello di Montalcino. Very light, very classic style Rosso, meant to be drunk on the release. His Brunello di Montalcino is incredibly dark, incredibly complex, and always needs a little more time. I always like to open his wine up a little earlier than the other ones. And then the Madonna del Piano, a stunning wine, an incredible bouquet from this. And Vincenzo will guarantee that his wines last your entire life. I don't know any other producer that will do that, but we have had an opportunity to taste several things from the mid-80s, 85, 88, and 90 on Vincenzo's trips. And I have to say, all those wines very much alive, as is the 96. Probably the lesser of all the vintages that we have on this offer. This wine, to me, is what this terroir is all about. When you lose the bright fruit and the wines when they're young, you really start to notice the dirt in the wine, and the 96 really starting to show the terroir right now. One of my favorite wines to drink and one of the least expensive on this offering. Well, check it out, folks. All the things from Valdicava on this offering, the new releases, all the older wines. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.